The decision is in. The United States Supreme Court has announced that President Biden's Education Department loan forgiveness program was not legally implemented. The bottom line is that there will be no loan forgiveness at this time. In a 6-3 ruling, the court held that the HEROES Act used to justify the creation of this program did not meet the legal threshold to allow the program to be implemented. The arguments in the dissent indicated that these 3 justices did not believe that the states who brought the case had legal standing. Those justices held that those 6 states had no legal reason to bring in action in this case. They lost in the vote of the court on this argument. The majority found that specific state agencies, especially in Missouri, would be financially impacted by the implementation of the forgiveness plan. Justice Sotomayor also stated that she believed the majority was not reading the act in its entirety and was not on solid legal ground. The arguments in the decision for the majority stated that the debt forgiveness plan was not grounded in law. They held that using the HEROES Act to forgive student loans in the wake of the COVID pandemic was well beyond the legislative authority granted by the act that was legislatively passed decades ago. Chief Justice Roberts indicated that the sheer size of the plan, affecting 43 million borrowers and $500 billion, did not constitute a modification of the act's intent. The size and scope of the plan completely moved beyond the intent of the HEROES Act. The court suggested that legislative action is needed to authorize a program this sweeping in its scope, and that such action would meet constitutional muster. For those comparing student loan forgiveness to the Paycheck Protection Program loans, PPP loans were rooted in legislative action. The legislature voted on and approved them, and the president signed that bill. That action is rooted in law based on that legislative action. The court is saying that circumventing the legislature through exclusively executive action rooted in an act that did not give specific authority for loan forgiveness under these circumstances was executive overreach. You also need to know that in response to the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023, the Department of Education has established that loan repayment must begin in October 2023. The pause in place for years will end on your loan payment date in October of this year. Further, the bill removes the president and his administration's ability to extend the payment deadline. In other words, prepare to restart payments on your college loans. From Nest to Wings will post a video soon discussing how to best manage your payments moving forward. Some truths need to be stated. The proposal for loan forgiveness that the administration put forward would have provided limited relief to some student loan debts. To the students and parents who see that relief dissolving before their eyes, we offer our compassion. The promise being pulled out from under you is gutting. We understand that. However, the loan forgiveness program put forward did not restructure student loan components that might have provided more and better relief. For example, what about the opportunity to discharge student loans in bankruptcy, or adjusting interest accrual over the life of the loan, or assuring that some level of financial counseling is required before a loan can be taken out, or moving the student loan program out of the federal government's purview? We don't know what the exact right answer is. We believe there is much more that could be done constitutionally, and could better serve those with student or parent plus loan debt. Or, dare we say it, a review of the ever-increasing costs of higher education as a whole. How has the federal government's role in student loans affected the cost of tuition? How have tuition costs risen so drastically over the years? Much work must be done to make lasting and truly impactful changes in all financial aspects of higher education and the cost of such an education on students and families. There are rumors that Congress will act on student debt. There are calls for the administration to rework programs that could provide relief. And there is a major U.S. election coming up in 2024. So the promises and threats and volume of words on the subject will be plentiful and loud. But without an act of Congress, there will be no future student loan forgiveness or payment pauses. And hope that there will be action by a branch of the government or movement by Congress does not look probable in the current political environment. Counting on any assistance moving forward is not a viable plan. So what can you do politically? Study the entirety of the issue. Just yelling for a dollar amount of relief or any general calls for fixes in the student loan process will not yield much in the way of action. and it might end up with the action provided being less than optimal or even counterproductive. Contact your representatives, senators, state education departments, and other entities to find opportunities to impact the flawed student loan process positively. Take action to pay your loans and find viable means to better manage student loans in the future. If you found this information useful, click the like button or subscribe. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below.